So what's going on, everybody? We are only 2 days out from the meet. That's it. It is Thursday afternoon. The meet is Saturday morning. So we're kind of even like a day and a half away from really lifting. So we got weigh-ins tomorrow morning. So I will weigh in hopefully right at 198 is the plan. So got to lose a little bit of water weight tonight. A little bit more than I anticipated, but we'll figure it out. I'm sitting right about 200 right now. And a lot of water is on the way out, if that makes sense. So I feel decently confident I should wake up tomorrow right around 198. Maybe if anything, we got to sit in like a sauna for, a little bit, sweat about a half pound out, whatever. But today, doing a bunch of stuff, just to kind of get through the motions of it. Couple lifts that I need. I really want to get some like muscle stimulus with. Just because it keeps me a little fresher. It keeps me a little less detrained. When I have certain muscle groups are constantly, like, not constantly, but are getting hit pretty frequently. So my legs in general are pretty used to higher frequency because I squat 3 times a week in some form, deadlift twice a week. So there's 3 times per week that I'm hitting some type of lower. And I do have like my comp squat, a secondary squat, and then even on my main deadlift, I do like a belt squat. So my legs are pretty used to like a consistent use, right? And I don't want to deviate too much from that. What I want to deviate from is the amount of stimulus that they get, not the frequency, if that makes sense. Just because there is a big portion of this that I think has a lot to do, like, you need to go through the motions of it. And I mean that literally. I talked about this in my last video. But physically go through the motion of benching, because there is a point of doing this so many days a week. Keep your shoulder moving in that plane, and it keeps it so things don't become tight and stiff and immobile. So I still want to do that. I still want to go through the motions of this. I still want to get a decent amount of stimulus from this. I don't want to get feel very stale and stagnant and feel kind of flat going in. Like, I need things to be able to pop. And they have felt that way through the prep, from doing the prep. Like, my squat has felt the way that it has felt because I squat 3 times a week. Like, my deadlift has felt the way that it has because since switching to sumo, I'm pulling twice a week. Like, my form is pretty, of course it needs improvement, but like, my form's pretty dialed in. Or at least, like, my body knows what to expect. So at first, my hips were super tight. It was hard for me to get in certain positions. It's hard for me to feel, is my back in the right position? Where doing it twice a week has made it to where my body knows to get into that position instinctively a little bit now, but my hips can open a little easier because I'm more used to that, squatting. Same way my hips are used to it, my knees are used to it, my lower back is used to it, it's used to a certain a certain amount of work. So I don't want to deviate from that too much. But what I can do is manipulate certain things. Like, how much do we do? Like, today we're going to do a 2x3 on bench of 225. That's it. And as you guys have seen, I've talked, and this has been, God, if I had to guess, between let's just say between 5 and 10 minutes. Ooh, and that's it. That's kind of all we're looking for. So I don't need to get like work out of it. I don't need to get a pump out of it. Heck, I'm not really even looking to like sweat. No, I'm sweating. That's not my point. My point is we're not looking for anything like to indicate a lot of work. Like, I'm breathing pretty heavy right now, but honestly, I can't breathe. This sickness that I got about a week out has just been killer for my lungs. So we're huffing and puffing, not because of the load. But my point is right now we're not searching to get sore for tomorrow and Saturday. We're not looking to get a good pump in right now to get a good sweat. All we're looking for is to go through the movement, go through the motions of it in such a way that doesn't hinder our performance on Saturday, but we still get work. And I know that sounds a little, kind of like easier said than done, for sure. It definitely does. But the truth is, we don't need anything crazy today. We don't need any RP8s. We don't even need RP6s today. We're hitting stuff just to keep our body moving, keep ourselves. They say like motion is lotion. That's kind of it. We're just going through the motion of it. We're doing all the motion stuff. We are squatting to remind our body. We still do this. This is not new. This is not foreign. Like, especially at the meet, this is part of our normal routine here. So my biggest thing I will say is, going into the meet, do not mess with the frequency that you did, especially when it comes to that last taper week. Like, I would even say you don't need to change the frequency to the last 2 blocks leading up to the meet. Like, you need to find the frequency that works and that you're still getting a good stimulus from without building a bunch of fatigue. And you need to do that 2 months out from the meet. At minimum, at least 2 months out. Now, I would say longer, but it's not really what we're talking about. But don't get your body used to squatting 3 times a week. And in the week of the meet, you squat 5 days out. And that's it. And of the last 2 weeks before your meet, you only squatted twice. Or you only squatted 3 times total in a 2-week span. That's not what we're looking for here. If we squat 3 times a week, continue to squat 3 times per week. If you bench 4, bench 4. If you deadlift twice, deadlift twice. I'm a big proponent of training into the meet. And the only way that I think people get it wrong is by doing too heavy of a loads too close to the meet. Too high reps and too many sets. But not that they do it too much. If you bench 4 times a week, and you bench 4 times a week before the meet, and your meet doesn't go well, it's not because you bench too much or too frequent that taper week. That's not the issue. The issue is your load was too high, your intensity was too high. Like, you need to manipulate the weights, the reps, the sets a little differently. Not that, it has nothing to do with the fact of like, you squatted too often, you benched too often. Now, maybe for like conventional deadlift, it might be worth it. Conventional, it might be worth it to the last week kind of restructure things. Like, what I mean by that, let's say you deadlift on Saturdays. What I would say is about a week out, maybe I wouldn't deadlift then and deadlift on like Monday just to push it a little closer. And then I wouldn't quite conventional deadlift like 3 or 4 days out for the meet or 2 days. But what I would do is replace it with like an RDL. Very easy, very light, low load, low reps like count, low set count, all that stuff. Keep it low, but go through the motions of it. That gives you the good time, because like you guys got to think, when you're working out, you're getting so much work on your warm-ups, like that you don't even understand like fully how much you get. Like, I don't understand how much I get. Like, I've never sat down and calculated the loads of like what my warm-ups would be. And again, I understand doing the bar for 10 is not going to give you any stimulus, but it definitely adds, like, it adds movement, it adds mobility, it adds all that stuff. Like, it gets you moving, and that's what you want. You want to get everything moving. So if something like, if I was a conventional puller, which I used to be, I would have RDL'd on like Tuesday, or like Wednesday, I would have done like an RDL. Or if, like, depending on how my schedule worked, like let's say it had to fall today, I would do like dumbbell RDLs, and I would do a pretty light dumbbell RDLs. Almost like what my warm-up RDLs would be like. Just because it gets you through that movement pattern of the hinge. You're kind of just like reinforcing the hinge pattern when it comes to conventional. Conventional is way more of a hinge pattern than sumo. Sumo is definitely more of a squat than it is a hinge. Conventional is definitely way more hinge. But that's it. We're gonna do one more set, one more little double at 315. Again, we just want to keep things moving. The whole point is to be moving right now, not to kill ourselves, nothing like that. So we just want, like, I did a meet before. I've talked about it before in previous videos, but if you're new, I did a meet before, my first one. The taper was very aggressive. Like, the last week almost didn't exist. And I didn't work out, I think it was like 3 or 4 days leading up into the meet. I think my last workout was like on a Monday, and I did my meet on the Saturday. So that meet went okay. But if I'm being honest, that meet did not go the way that I thought that it should have, based on the numbers that I was hitting during the prep. It basically worked out that all the numbers I hit at prep, I just ended up hitting again on the platform. You don't want that, because that means that, like, you didn't really cut fatigue, or you weren't getting fatigued enough during the prep. I think it was a little bit of both. I feel like the prep wasn't challenging enough, and then the taper was too aggressive, to where I kind of felt detrained. So where, like, the prep kept me here, and where I should have shot after cutting fatigue, I kind of shot up, and then you kind of come back down because you took too much time off. And I really learned there that what it really came down to was the fact of I needed the movements. I needed to be moving. Like, that was the biggest thing for me. Because then my second meet, I think it was a little too aggressive, too high of intensity going into the meet, but the movement was there. I thought it was there in a very good way. I trained the exact, almost like the same frequency and all that stuff into the meet, and I definitely felt different. All right. So, last little thing we're gonna do here. Keep it nice and easy, nice and simple. Going along with the movements and each lift. Bench is a very non-fatiguing movement for me. So, right now, I know that I can get a tiny bit of stimulus in my triceps, and I know that it won't carry into the knee. Now, we're not focusing on getting a lot of work, volume, and reps. We're gonna keep it relatively light. But I just wanna get some stimulus in. I wanna feel my triceps a little bit. I just wanna remind my body that, like, hey, you know, we're not stopping, we're not slowing down, we're not shutting down. This is normal. We're doing what we normally do here. And what we normally do is a lot of tricep work, bench often. Then what we're gonna do, we're gonna pair it with another muscle group that honestly, I think a lot of people train wrong. Lats. Lats are used to taking quite a bit of beating. And the reason I say that is that we use our lats in almost every movement. Not almost. We use our lats in all three lifts. They're important to stabilize the back on bench and squat. I am in the camp of bringing the bar out with your lats. It's very important when it comes to bench. And obviously in deadlift, huge on the deadlift, especially if you're pulling sumo. I feel like you need your lats in a little bit of different way than conventional because your arms are more in front of you. Where sumo, you're kind of brought down a little bit because you're getting more upright, but it plays a huge part. So lats are constantly taking a beating. So I feel like, at least for me, my lats are very forgiving. They can recover very quickly. Not so much like my erectors or like my glutes and hams and quads. They take a little longer to recover from. But even for me, I don't have really a big bicep, so my biceps takes a while to recover from. But like triceps, lats, upper back, things that take a constant beating through all these lifts are muscle groups that get used to the beating, so they adapt very quickly. So we can keep things like this in our program until pretty much the last second. Now I'm like right now I'm doing press downs with like I think I'm doing like 65 or 70 pounds. We cut it down to 45. We're gonna do like a little set of 8 right now. So maybe that pull down. I mean, 90 is normally something that I do. It's very slow, controlled, eccentrics, you know, behind the neck type of thing. But for this, we're gonna do there's a normal pull down. And that's it. And that's the whole workout. So again, 2 days out, about a day and a half really. Last training day before the meet. Last thing I'll say about everything, I thought the prep went very, very well. Very happy with it. The last section of the prep, the real peaking, we didn't fail a lift. At least not that I can remember. So I feel very confident and good going into me. I feel like things have clicked very well. So the prep, all in all, was I don't know. I enjoyed it. So high hopes for this meet. I think we're going to take our goals down. So I'm thinking a lot about different things, about different lifts, and what I can hit on squat or bench and dead. Like, you know, what should I prioritize? And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to prioritize the total. I'm going to prioritize 1,300 as my total. So I might adjust some openers and stuff to accommodate for that. But in order to do that, roughly, we need 485 squat, 315 bench, and a 500 deadlift. So the deadlift and bench I'm pretty confident on. The squat, I'm not unconfident. I just like kind of, I know I'm going to land around there. And I mean that like I could squat in between 470 and 5. Taking out 490 would not surprise me in hitting it, but it wouldn't surprise me if like 480 just wasn't quite there. That's kind of where I'm at with it. That's how I feel like about it. Where on deadlift, I feel like I can load up 5, and as long as I'm very patient off the floor and I just keep pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling, that it'll come up and I'll lock it out. Same thing with bench. As long as I do my attempt selection appropriately, 315 will be there on the day. So I just really need to hit the numbers, but I don't want to overshoot squat too much to where it affects bench and deadlift. But I also don't want to take a back seat and take it too easy and then watch 1,300 be out of reach when it comes to deadlift. So I don't want to prioritize PRing on any one lift. I honestly would rather hit the 1,300 pound total. So that's where we're at. That's where we'll be at. That's all I got for today. So last training day, everything feels great. We're going to pack our bag tonight, weigh in tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Hopefully weigh in right at 198. And that's it. So I will see you guys on the other side. So there's no outro. The video just cuts off.